Our world tour of anthropomorphic female animation continues, as we take yet another trip back into the Disney Goof Troop universe, with Goofy and his son Max of Goof Troop. The series briefly ran between the years of 1992 and 1993. After its television run, it was followed up by 2 spin-off movies, the first being 1995's A Goofy Movie, and then 5 years later in 2000, a sequel titled An Extremely Goofy Movie. While only having 2 seasons with 78 episodes, the Goof Troop verse in general has managed to create a lot of female characters, all almost equally sharing minor roles. Out of those ladies, one of the most recognized of them is the love interest of Max, Roxanne. However, long before Max was given a love interest, his neighbor and best friend PJ took romantic interest in a much lesser known character known as Rose Beckenbloom. She was voiced by voice actress-Debi Derryberry. Rose was a one-time major character for season 2 in episode Puppy Love. As the class read their poetry out loud, we eventually got our first taste of what Rose was like.
The real me. I am like a flower hidden beneath a shady path, waiting for someone to bring my world to light. Waiting for someone who will see that behind my shy and quiet eyes, I am a rose waiting to bloom.
Despite being a natural poet, she had the unfortunate position to be stuck in a class full of immature children. In the heat of embarrassment, she fled the room. The only one not laughing was PJ, as he found himself smitten by her words. So after school, he goes dumpster diving with Max to find her poem. PJ, Rose thinks you're a dirty boy. That's not a good thing. Nevertheless, he does succeed in finding Rose's poem.
And an exotic new smell, too.
But later on at home, PJ's bizarre new behavior is attracting attention with the rest of the family.
Do you think it's the mumps?
No, it's probably just your cooking.
That's strike one, Pete. Biting the hand that feeds you. After dinner, PJ's snoopy little sister Pistol discovers a phone cord. The phone cord leads all the way straight to PJ's room, where he is found on a roof, probably getting charged 25 cents a minute for dating advice. Pistol figures this out and tattletales.
He doesn't want you to know he's in love.
Oh, the big L, huh?
Pete now decides to insert himself into PJ's love life, and proceeds to give him terrible advice that would not work on a girl like Rose, let alone any girl.
Son, from your guts like this. Swallow some air, see? I guarantee any girl will fall for it. Your mom did.
I'm sure Peg will tell that story differently. Nevertheless, PJ follows his dad's advice and proceeds to make a situation worse. When all else fails, bring mischievous Max into it. Instead of telling PJ to talk to her directly, he decides to dress up as a baby and have PJ dress up as a fireman.
Oh my, that sounds like a baby in danger.
Aren't you a little short?
Aren't you a little short? You ain't 2 kneecaps from Gary Coleman yourself. PJ needed to be reminded that the baby needed to be rescued. Trying to save Max, they end up wheeling down the road into ongoing traffic, before they both hit a dead end at the lake.
Peach!
If things weren't going bad enough, matchmaker Pete wanted to know how things went with Rose. Max lies to Pete on behalf of PJ, and tells him that PJ was successful in asking Rose to the Spring Fling, which was the upcoming dance. PJ, now done with the shenanigans, decides to take things into his own hands, and decides he wants to give Rose a gift. Well, give to Max to give to her. He hides in a locker at school so he can feed his words to Max directly. Before PJ could finish what he was saying, Rose ran off with her gift, and Max went following after.
She loved the gift and she said yes to the dance.
What's bad about that?
She wants to go with me.
Between everything that was now going on, Max and PJ were now going at it. PJ's mom, Peg, overhears the commotion.
Oh, when it comes to women, your father is full of yams.
I kind of figured that out, Mom.
I think we all figured that out. Peg inspires Max to come up with one more scheme. The plan was for PJ to bring his mom along as a date so him and Max could switch. While Pete is playing a limo chauffeur, Peg is dashing over to a neighbor's house so she can pretend she lives there and get picked up.
Like, bye, little go, brother. See you later, for sure.
That's your date?
I know, right, Pete? What are they feeding the girls these days? Pete reminds PJ to give Mallory the gift, which was actually her earrings.
In fact, they're totally like a pair I once had.
And that'll be strike 2. After picking up Rose and arriving to the dance, it should have been all smooth sailing from there if Pete actually left, but he didn't.
I think I'll stick around and watch my little pupil at work.
Once inside the school, they began to put their plan into orbit.
Like to fast dance.
Oh, I'm not too good at it.
Oh, too bad. 'Cause I love...
Oh, like me.
Once the mood was set, everything else was practically up to PJ. Everything is going well, for the most part, until Pete decides to insert himself into the situation. He not only ruins the plan, he embarrasses Rose at the same time.
When are you ever gonna learn to butt out?
Oh, clam up, Missy. You're worse than my wife.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is strike 3.
Muffin tin.
Thanks for the earrings.
PJ goes after her and finds her out in the parking lot next to the limo. He opens up to her the best way he can and reads her poem.
That's my poem.
Yeah, I kind of dug it out of the dumpster.
That was you?
Yeah, and the redneck, and the paramedic.
I think I like the real you more.
Max would help things along by playing a little music that they could dance to. In the end, PJ overcame his fear of talking to Rose, and he did it by being himself. And so ends another profile video. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Furry Girl Profiles. If you liked today's video, please leave a like, subscribe, and also leave a comment. My name is Jawbreaker, and I thank you for watching Playfur Cinema.